Hello again. In this video I'm going to show you how to mix common mortar with building sand and ordinary Portland cement, otherwise known as OPC, commonly available from every DIY chain and builders yards. I will be mixing mortar on a plastic builder's spot available from some DIY chains or via the tools section on my website in the links at the end of the video or in the description bar. I like to mix on a spot like this when I'm doing brickwork repairs or relaying ridge tiles. A bucket mix is far too small to be practical, but a cement mixer would be inactive for long periods of time, making cleaning it between mixes a bit of a chore. A nice spot mix like this can give you enough mortar to work with whilst not mixing so much that it doesn't stay fresh. Here are all the things required for our mix: a builder's spot, a nice lightweight shovel, some water, a standard bag of OPC or ordinary Portland cement, and a sand of your choice. Here I'm using a bog standard building sand straight off the shelf of a DIY store. But depending on what you want to do with your finished mortar, I thoroughly recommend that you do a little bit of research or check out my link to the website where I talk about some common sand choices for various jobs. Here though, just for the sake of the demonstration, I will be mixing with the standard off-the-shelf building sand. First, I'm going to open my chosen sand and place it on the spot. I like to cut the top off my bags with a hacksaw blade, purely for the reason that it's not as dangerous as hacking away with a knife or Stanley knife. If I cut near the top of the bag, close to the heat seal, I also get to use the bag again as a strong rubble sack. The sand you use in your mix is actually very important, not just for the quality of your finished mortar, but for the task that you're going to do with it. For instance, a mix created with this standard highly processed DIY store sand will be very smooth and easy to work with, which may make it very suitable for bricklaying and small pointing jobs. But it will be liable to crack if used in a larger mass, in for instance the relaying or repointing of ridge tiles, let's say. This is a far less processed, harsher building sand from a roofing yard. It has a more varied particle size and shape, and this makes it a better choice for use in projects like large chase pointing, ridge tile pointing, or the rebedding of ridge tiles onto slates or plain tiles. It's still a very good strong sand for bricklaying, but will be much harder to work with and may benefit from a plasticizer. As a final example, this is a sharp sand or wash sand. If used on its own, it creates a very strong mix commonly used in screeding floors or flaunching the top of a chimney, where a large mass of mortar is required. The much larger varied particle inhibits cracking, and it can be used to add to building sand for bedding ridges onto profile tiles or for bedding tiles onto roof verges. It would, however, be hopeless for laying bricks with. If you want to see more information on sand and other factors that will affect the quality of your mix, visit the website link at the end of the video or in the description bar. Next, I'm going to add the cement. Again, it's a standard OPC or ordinary Portland cement available from nearly everywhere. My favourite method of opening the cement bag is to cut an X in the top. This way I can fold back the flaps to the side, get the shovel in, and it keeps the sides of the bag strong so it doesn't spill cement all over the place. Another good method for stopping cement stains is to place your cement inside a container like this. At this point you may want to check the wind direction and make sure it's blowing away from you and not towards you. And of course it's always a good idea when working with cement to wear a mask, especially before the cement is mixed into the sand. In this mix I will be using a standard roofing ratio of 3:1. That means 3 parts sand to 1 part cement. This bag of sand, I know from experience, contains 6 shovels of sand, and I will add 2 shovels of cement, which is 6:2, or cancelled down 3:1. It's a very common mix in roofing. If you're making mortar for bricklaying though, a common ratio would be 4:1 or 5:1. Okay, so now we know the ratios are correct, we've had a quick look at the sand, let's carry on with the mix. Slowly work your way around the spot, gently turning over the sand and cement near the edges first. This will fluff up any compacted sand and make it easier to work. Try not to push the shovel too far in at first. This will make it unnecessarily heavy, harder to work with, and put unwanted strain on your back. As the sand and cement starts to blend together, take the opportunity to push a little deeper into the centre to get anything unmixed. But again, not too hard and not too heavy. A slight levering motion can be used with the shovel near the centre to assist you. Try to use overall core and body strength to do the mix. It's very easy to disengage your brain and start levering with your back. This is exactly what you don't want to do. Once you're happy that the sand and cement is mixed thoroughly, hollow out the centre of the mix and place it evenly around the sides. This is where we're going to add the water in a moment. Nice even walls will stop the water breaching the sides prematurely. Next, add your water either with or without additives in. Learning how much water to add can be a fine art, but always try to put less in than you think you need. It's always easier to add more water later than it is to add sand and cement to dry it out. Now it's just a matter of dragging the mix from all sides into the central water reserve. Take as long as you want doing this. Not only is it a great chance to catch your breath, but it also allows the water to sink into the mix. Once you've had your bit of fun, it's time to complete the mix. If you're not on a level surface, try and break into the mix on an uphill side. This stops any water or liquid mortar running downhill and over or out of the spot. A lifting, dragging and chopping motion will now also help to distribute and mix any lumpy or dry bits in the mortar. If the mix is still a bit dry like this one, just splash a bit more over the surface. Don't go berserk, you can always add more later. To finish, it's simply a matter of mixing in the water, but remember the mix will be a lot heavier now than before. So protect your back by putting into practice the good mixing technique used earlier. After 2 or 3 minutes of working the mix like this, it should be thoroughly mixed and ready to use. Okay, let's have a quick look at what we've mixed. This is the sort of wetness I would probably use for pointing or brickwork repairs. It trowels quite easily and grips to the pointing trowel really well. The mix I've done here by comparison is visibly drier. It breaks into lumps and wants to stand up without sagging. This is more the type of mix I would use for rebedding or relaying ridge tiles, for instance. It's still wet enough to bond, but it won't slop about or sag easily. If I was working on a profiled roof tile, I would probably have used building sand and wash sand in combination to make this mix. Well, that brings another video to an end, and I hope it proves useful. If you want to learn how to do a smaller bucket mix or clean your spot after mixing, click on the links provided here or in the description bar. Okay, thanks for watching.